Welcome to Amanda's Parade and Parade Handmade. Thank you for watching. I am going to speak about my hoarding, self-confessed craft hoarding more than anything. I'm not a massive hoarder in the sense of everything and anything. I've got rid of a lot of things lately, but I am a bit of a hoarder in a sense of, it's not that I want things, it's that I don't want to throw things away and I can see the possibility in things. So for example, I live quite frugally, and it's by nature, it's by rearing and by nature, I suppose. I never had a lot of money, but I knew with a bit of creativity I could have the things that I wanted, more or less. I didn't crave for anything massive, but for the things I wanted, like clothes, new clothes, different clothes, restyled clothes, all of that. And I'm still exactly the same. Now that I'm older and I have a little bit more to spend, I'm not big on going to mainstream shops or anything like that. And I'm big into, restyling, fixing, mending, changing a little bit, all of that with my clothing. Or I might find something in a secondhand shop, charity shop, and that way I get to have new things and help various causes. So that suits me as well. I hoard craft supplies, but I use them. So I don't really feel that's part of my job. Do you see the crossover there? Between personal and business, but it happens to be that my business is creativity, so I find it very hard to draw the line. I have a bag of projects. Now this is just the projects I have which do with clothing, and at the moment I'm doing, as I mentioned in the last video, a bit of downsizing. I'd like to have more room, and I'm already reaping the benefits by not having the big bed in here, but being able to kind of bring a bed down if I need it and when I need it. And it's already working super well for me. I really feel the freedom. I've worked here a few times. I mended that necklace last week right here, and I'm standing, which is really nice as well. So it gives me that little bit of exercise extra to what I would normally get. So all that is good. So moving on to the project in hand. This is my first project that I want to talk about. I'm knitting a woolly jumper for my husband. Now this is a dream I've had for years. I have the sleeve, the front and the back done, and it is a big, warm, cozy, partially wool, some recycled wool as well in there. And this is the fourth time I've tried to knit a jumper in my life. And I have a friend near me who has knit jumpers many times. And I thought with her nearby, if I ran into too much difficulty, she could help. So this is my current project. And the thing about this is, when I have this project completed, I have one arm, the remainder of this arm to do. And then the neckline, whatever that entails, is kind of like a band that goes around, and then sew it up, and then it's finished. And hopefully it'll fit my husband. And when it's done, and I'm hoping that'll be soon, I can move on back onto my other projects, which I do at night time. And this other part is business. So I don't want to leave the jumper aside because I find it hard to go back to projects, although I'm learning to do that. But these, remember these? I am dying to get back into doing my berries. And I need to get them for the autumn, and I need to get them for the winter stock. I'm not going to go crazy doing them, but I really need to have my hands in something, and I'd like some of it to be for Parade Handmade. So they're all different, etc, etc, etc. I'm not doing an advert for them, but I'm just showing you and reminding you these. And I have lovely wool bought for the purpose. So I'm not allowing myself to get back to these until I finish my jumper. Now I will get on to my bag of old clothes and I'll just pull them out as they come, and I'll tell you what my ideas are for them. Some of them are for work and some of them are for personal, and just see what you think. It's kind of fun. Some of it's felting, some of it's sewing, some of it's kind of tweaking. I'll show you the little kind of things I do to change up my clothes. All right, see you in a few minutes. I'm a bit giddy about this because I don't know what's coming out of the bag. I only know the top few things. This piece, oh yes, this was a beautiful jumper that I acquired in one of those black sacks that goes around, you know, all the friends that get their black sacks together when they're doing the clear out. And you might get some items that you really love and hold on to them, and they might get aware of some things that you no longer use or could never use or whatever. And this was one of them. It's a beautiful jumper. It's like 80% wool, 10% cashmere, 10% Angora. And I think what happened to this when it shrunk in the wash for someone, and I shrunk it more, and now it's felted and it's gorgeous. It's really pure, it's really clean. I'm going to make something nice for, the plan is to make a nice little bag for Etsy. And my little plan is probably to cut off the bottom and make this into a kind of a tote without wasting much material. If there's anything left, I'll probably make some nice little wrist warmers out of it. And my big plan is to put a little bit of embroidery on it, just a little bit like I did when I was younger in college, because it really gave me a thrill, and to put it into my handmade area on Etsy. One, this is pure acrylic, I think. It is, I think, maybe it's not, it's a Bevan Martin, and I adore it. I don't think Bevan is in business anymore, don't quote me on it, but I used to love her things, and if I find them in a second-hand shop nowadays, I buy them. But this was mine, and somehow it shrunk in the wash. If you notice, it's very short. And also I'd put on weight since then, so my worry is, well, I've never been able to throw it out. But I love it. I still love it as an item. I don't want to throw it out, so I'm going to make something with it. So there's a few things I could do. I could chop off the neck and make a little zipper purse out of it. Put in a zip, put in a lining, and have a bit of fun with that. Or I could make a bag, again, out of the body. I could make leg warmers from the arms. I probably will. I think that's a good idea, because I'm mad to get some leg warmers. Now I could knit a few for the crack. Yeah, I'm an 80s girl. So I'm going to do something fun with that. So I can't throw that away. Now, I realise this sounds nutty and it's all excuses for not throwing things away, and it is, but I've thrown a lot away and I still continue. And unless I really, if it's bringing me joy, as you know who says, Marie Kondo, isn't it? You know, this is a piece I bought recently in a second-hand shop. It's too big for me, but I think I like the statement. I probably prefer it. No, I like the statement. I'd like to wear it with some bold colours, but it's just, I thought, oh yeah, oversized, grand, it'll fit me, because I felt a bit big and all the rest, you know yourself. But it's too big. So I'm going to alter that. Take it in down the sides. Easy enough to do. Just once you can do it by hand. I probably do it by hand watching the telly some night. I won't even get the machine out for it. And I'll just do a back stitch all the way down. Just make sure it's nice and secure, and then iron the sides. I might even do a bit of a, you know, your zigzaggy stitch on the inside with the machine later, and to secure the stitches and the material, and hopefully I'll be able to make it fit me. We'll see. These things always take time. This is a gorgeous skirt that I got in, I think it was a shop that was on the edge of Newport for a year or two, a vintage kind of shop. It was in the old garage. Can't remember the name of the garage. I'm terrible for names. But and I bought this. It's a vintage tie-dye. It's not my normal colouring, but it's beautiful, and it's really soft on the elastic, and there's plenty of room, and I just felt so feminine, and the feeling, it feels beautiful. So ultimately I had worn it a few times, but it was so long and delicate that it snagged on a few things, and so I got a few holes in it. So I tried a little remedy in that on the day. I tied a little knot and tied a little knot and tied a little knot, but I have to confirm. I could do it very soon actually and get a few wears out of it this summer. I have to confirm that it's wearable. So I need to just put that on. I need to take the time to go through this, put that on and see what I can do with it. Another one. This is another tie-dye. I never used to wear tie-dye. I thought it was too, for my style, I thought it was too restrictive. It was like, there's a hippie. Not that I mind being a hippie, like I've been accused of bohemian style, hippie style, whatever, all my whole life, and I don't mind. I don't really mind. But what I don't like is, I'm always like, I'm my own style. I decide what I wear. Other people don't. All that. So I don't like going out in a style that someone else has dictated, if you understand me. Now, I probably end up doing that, but it's always been against the grain if I do. But you'll never see me in a twin set and pearls and high heels, and or even, you know, court shoes, which I love. I love court shoes. I love them under a pair of trousers or something. But anyway, you'll never see me in that thing with a little hairband and the little pearls across it and the whole. You might see me in one or two of those pieces along with other things, but I always have to mix it up. I cannot go straight down someone else's style guide. It's just not in me. So I found this again in a secondhand shop, charity shop. I always say secondhand shop first because that's what I always said as a young one, but what I mean is the charity shops. And this again is a tie-dye and it's beautiful on, and I love the length. I love long skirts right down to the ground. I just feel they're generous. You can see the material, they're feminine, they're light, they're luxury, and the same with jumpers. I love that. But there is a time for it. This is massive on me, like massive. I thought, oh, it's huge, it'll fit. Once it gets on, I'll buy it and then I can figure it out later. But as you see, I could possibly fit maybe me and another half of me in here. Let's not say two of me, but let's just say another half. So I need to take it in. Basically, I need to just take it in. Not too much. I could go overboard. I don't want it to grab my legs and make me look like a Y. I want it to kind of have a kick at the bottom still and a little bit of room, but it is just a little bit, when I put this on and gather it, it's too wide. It's just too much material around my waist. So I want to get it. I'll probably have to, it won't be too difficult actually. My plan is to, I'm not a seamstress officially, take out the string, turn it inside out, sew it down on both sides, and then I'll have to nick here to get the string back through and then secure it, you know, secure where I do the nick so that the material doesn't rip. And then I think it should be good to go. And certainly good enough to go. It was a charity find. It was probably about €4 or something, or €5. And I'll have a little bit of material left over for fun. For my free time. Now this is a gorgeous thing. I got it in a bag. A black sack, as I call it, which we love seeing coming. And it's, look, it's gorgeous. Now, I love the colouring. I love vibrant colours. And I think that, how much was it? Look, no, I didn't get it in a bag. Look. The Horse Sanctuary. This is in Ballina. That's a really good shop, actually. There's a few really good shops in Ballina, charity shops. One is the Northwest SPCA. And it's chocker. Now, it's chocker. You have to be kind of brave to win there, but you can find some nice bargains in there, and they're awful nice. And then this is the Northwest. These are, the ladies in here are lovely as well. And that is a really good shop. And there's another shop across the road. I'm not sure if it's Alzheimer's or what it is. Maybe, I can't remember. I get confused. But really, really good shops if you want to go and find some little bargains. But this was only like €3. And it's just so beautiful, this material. But again, way too big for me. So I'm not sure what to do with this. I could make an item of clothing. You know, I could manage it. But do I need another top? I mean, I like the length of it. I could use it make a bag out of it, but how many bags do I need? I could make a cardigan, I could open it, or, you know, kind of one of those tops, kind of arty, that I could just throw on when it gets a bit chilly and fling off. You know, if you're wearing a t-shirt like this, we'll see. But it's beautiful material, and I really feel it warrants doing something lovely with. We'll see. Now this is a weird one. I'm just wondering, has everybody gone away now? It's too boring for them. But I'm enjoying this so much. This is a skirt that I did get in a black sack. And it's tiny, like it's size 10 or something like that. But it's got elastic in it. And it's, you know, it's one of those. It's layered, which I always really love. I love the romance of it. It's kind of gypsy. It's gorgeous. But it's beige. I mean, I would never wear beige. Not in a million years. But I popped it on a couple of times and I got lots of comments on it. You know, that's really lovely, that's really nice. And I was thinking, oh, it suits me, obviously. It goes with my look and everything, which I take very seriously. I don't. I just have these notions in my head. But anyway, the thing is, I'm still tempted to change the colour. So when it comes to dyeing something, I'd do a few things at the same time. I'm still on the edge about the dyeing and the whole, you know, the environment and that, and whether it's okay to do it and not okay. Probably isn't. So we'll see. We'll see, depending. I could do natural dye, but then the natural dye might come out. It might take ages. I don't know. I'm not experienced in the dyeing, not really. I've done a little bit of dyeing particular cases, but so I love this. And here is a lovely dress. Now this, it doesn't look anything at all. You'll have things like this. You'll probably have tons of things like this. This is a dress that's fitted. It's darker than normal, but it has a lovely purple in it that I really adore. It's quite fitted, but my problem is it's a bit tight, just a tiny bit tight here. So I'm going to, oh no, do you know what it was? It was on the sleeve because it has piping around the sleeve. That's what it is. Do you see this piping? This is too limited for my arm here. I used to be very sporty, walking around on my arms and doing gymnastics and things like that. So I've built up a lot of strength up here. So sometimes if a thing is very restricted, I have an issue. So I'm going to attempt in a neat way to bring that down a little bit, just enough so that I can comfortably wear it, because it'll be a waste of a full dress otherwise, that otherwise suits me. So that's another little job I have to do. Not for the site, as you might imagine. Here now is a jumper. Right, this, you might want to do this. This is, I don't know if it's your thing, but it's definitely my thing. I did it the first time when I was about 20. I bought a sweatshirt for £3 in pennies in Meath Street in Dublin. It was green. And I cut the neck off and I put it here. And I had a bit of a stripy t-shirt that I cut off the front of and I put it on the inside. So it was like a window, a vignette kind of into the stripes. And I did a blanket stitch around it. And I did a blanket stitch around the area there where I had cut. But first I turned it inside out. Did I say that? The t-shirt, the sweatshirt, it was long sleeve sweatshirt, it was inside out. And that was it. It was very simple. I did it in an evening at home. Just wanted to do it for the crack. I don't even know why. Maybe I thought it was too much up here because it was quite broad. Something like that. I don't know. It's years ago, like 34 years ago. Anyway, people stopped me in the street to ask me where I bought it. In Dublin. People I didn't know. That really told me that that's a nice thing to do. It's a great thing to do. I could have started a business right away, but I didn't. But anyhow, so that's always in the back of my mind. You know, the way you get an acrylic jumper or an acrylic cardigan or something, and you love it and you wear it for a little while, and then it gets bally and then it gets really raggy, and you can't get it back. You can take those little balls off, you know, when you want, which takes a lot of time, but you can do that for a while and eventually you have to just give up on it, especially under the arms here where it rubs all the time. So my go-to thing is turn it inside out, take all the tags off it, and then what I do is I'll add, maybe if it's a cardigan, put the buttons on the front and maybe add a little detail to the front in a few little places. It doesn't have to be big. Could be a little button, could be little buttons here up the sleeve, a couple of nice little buttons that you've kept from something else or that you have there in your little button box, and a couple of tiny details, and then it looks intentional. That inside out thing isn't inside out, it's an intentional design feature. And that's how I get longer out of my acrylic clothing that I might find. Now I got this, and again in a black bag. I don't know where I got it or who, a friend, one of the friends. And this is fab. And this is a jumper that I really love. I love the size for the winter here in Ireland. I just love feeling cozy. I love the I think the polo neck. It's kind of more like a turtleneck kind of. It's kind of sloppy. And I love it. And I'm going to do a job on it. So I thought as well, by showing you these projects, that it would spur me on to just take them out someday and do them. So, and it would be part of my work kind of thing, and I would clear space as well. I'm not going to go into this. This is a lovely top. It's really lovely. I got it recently. I am going to go into it, obviously, and it's just a little bit narrow. It's a Benetton. I used to work for Benetton years ago, the Isle of Man. Anyhow, it's just a little bit narrow here, tiny bit. So I want to see, is there anything I can do about it so that I can use it, because it's just so, it's the shape of it is really nice. I won't show you the shape here. It's a bit tricky to show you on here. I won't hold you too long. I'll just show you one more thing. No, two things. Right. This is a t-shirt. No, it's a sweatshirt. It's a real throwback to the 80s. Look, what does it say? One more to adore. It's huge, again. A big blue oversized sweatshirt, but it's nice and long. It's a gorgeous colour. And I have a patch that a friend gave to me of a minibus. And it's about that size. Like, it's a nice size. And I'm thinking to adorn this with it. I've been waiting for something good to put it on, but I just want to make sure that this fits me right. So I might end up, it is huge. So I have to try it on again a few times just to see. Oh, I'll probably have to change the neckline. I don't, because I have the broad shoulders and the narrow hip area, I like to have a V here. So it just kind of balances up the shape, if you know what I mean. So I often take necks off things, or cut a slit here even to let it open a little bit, or I'll make a whole other new neckline out of it. I've bought some of those French curves to do that kind of thing with. And then I might just blanket stitch because it's sweatshirt material, and then I'll sew on my little patch. I don't know where the best place will be. I don't think it's always the best place on a woman to put it over a bust, depending of course on the woman. Not here on the back, you don't see it on the front, so maybe on the arm or the shoulder, but then it might get crinkled, I don't know. Or I could put it on the, you know, down there at the at the waistline, you know, not the waistline, at the base, you know where the band is, somewhere down there. That could be a good idea. I think that's what I'll do. So there you go. That's another little project I have in mind. It shouldn't take very long actually, that. So maybe I'll take one or two out in my free time and do it. I just wanted to show you some of the things that I've got boiling in the background. But I really have to decide what I want to clutter up my days with. I don't want to have the pressure of those things building up and building up and building up, projects that I'm never going to get to do. But I do want to complete some of those projects because they make me happy, and I don't want everything to be about work. And on the other hand, I need seriously to narrow down the amount of tangents that I'm on, and I'm on a quest to narrow down the clutter in every way, because I'm spiraling. I've too much to do in business, and then if something doesn't work in business, like we're shape shifting all of the time the last few years, and I need to find ways to, you know, to encourage business, improve it business, change tack, pivot a little bit here, pivot a little bit there, and things are working. The sales are on their way up again at the moment, which is good, but then again it's been so rocky in the last few years that it'd want to. And I need to know and feel that it's on a definite. So part of what I'm doing is chopping down areas that I'm focusing on to keep the energy, because I'm finding I'm burning out doing all of this thing. I am enjoying it, but I'm beginning to have more times of burnout than I had before. And part of it's social media. Part of it is trying too hard to do something that I'm not even sure that's working. Part of it is over eagerness to, it's like a greedy thing in creativity. I just want to try everything and do everything, and I want to actually execute every idea that comes to mind. And I have to learn that some ideas do not have to happen. So what I might do, for instance, is have a look at my little pile here again. Now these were my whittled down things. This is a bag, this bag that I'm not really showing you because it's just not a great looking bag, but the point is that it's full of stuff. More projects. They're my recent projects, say in the last few months, except for my one from years ago, my fluffy top. And I have beautiful material there that my parents had. It's a caftan, it's gorgeous, and it begs for something beautiful to be done. It's a tie-dye again. That's definitely, I won't throw that out. But I have other projects there that, you know, things that need to be felted. I'm going to felt down that jump cardigan there that someone gave me. It's beautiful, but it's not going to fit me. The arms are too short and it's getting a bit worn and all of that, but it'd be fantastic. Felt it down and made into something. If you're interested in following along with me and my business journey with Parade Handmade and Amanda's Parade, then like and subscribe and keep on going with yourself and keep pushing the needle forward, and come along and visit me next week. Thank you for watching.